Here's a big question. What do you understand about the product owner? I find that many people interpret it incredibly differently, and that's a source of problems. For me, the word owner could be a little bit misleading, kind of like the word master and scrum master. As a product owner, you really don't own anything, though you may think you do. Let me share with you a quick story. I know many people who often get confused between product manager and product owner. We had this discussion not too long ago, earlier this week. Initially, I used product manager as a job title, and then I moved to a startup where everyone called me the product owner. So this is, of course, someone else's story. Eventually, I decided to use product owner as my job title on LinkedIn. After changing it, my previous CEO wrote, "Congratulations on taking this initiative. It's a big step to start a business. I admire your courage." I was puzzled by this message. I didn't start a new company. I was doing the same job as before. I'm surprised many product owners' behavior is not what I expect it to be. Here are some things that I personally, as a coach, have heard very often. I'm the product owner because I own the final word. I define what goes into each sprint. Only tasks I approve can go live, and developers need my perspective in order to make decisions. When I hear that, I know that Scrum teams in general often fail because the product owner is taking that type of headroom. And that makes me a little bit crazy. Many product owners act as if they're above the Scrum team instead of being part of it. One of the big changes that came recently, 2020, from a Scrum guide, was that they decided to call the team developers. And when they say Scrum team, they're talking about holistically the Scrum Master, the product owner, and the developers. So when you think of, I'll say that again, many product owners act as if they're above the Scrum team instead of being part of it, which they are. Such behavior will inevitably and always does backfire. The team will get demotivated and will undermine the product owner. Unfortunately, I also commonly observe product owners operating under the command and control mindset with the team. If the team achieves the goal, the product owner says, "If without my leadership and capabilities, the team would have never successfully completed this initiative." But if the team fails, the product owner is quick to blame the developers for their poor execution. Wow. Allow me to share with you 4 destructive behaviors of product owners. This is not intended to say product owners are bad. I want to be clear up front, but this is just to show you as a product owner things you could do differently as a member of a Scrum team so that you're a product owner that knows how to handle it if and when things miss the mark. So number 1, product owner equals the genius who knows it all. Digital product development can be complex. Several challenges can be faced, and you always make decisions. You're always focused on making decisions. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how good looking you are. You'll eventually hit a wall. Every day you have to ponder where to go. You have too many questions and too many answers. If you're trying to get all the answers alone, you'll ensure failure, most often more than you can afford. So you have to ask yourself some questions. Which problems are worthwhile solving? Which solution can drive to our desired outcome? How fast should we be scaling up our product? I need to break a quick fact to you. Alone, you're not going to get all the answers right. You need to collaborate closely with the developers and with your inner core team of business analysts, functional analysts, technical analysts, because those are the people who are going to give you the information that you need to make more intelligent decisions. Finding the sweet spot between the problem, the solution, and the technology required is a lot of work. A single person cannot be competent in it, but product owners insist on defining the problem to solve and the solution by themselves in many cases. When developers only execute the demands of the product owner and don't think outside of the demands that are being placed upon them, you can expect mediocrity and high turnover because developers will feel trapped in a production line, they'll have burnout. It's not the best way to build meaningful products, right? Collaboration is vital to building successful products. My recipe for it would be the product owner strives to ideally identify meaningful problems that need to be solved or new and innovative products that need to be built. The product owner brings the problems or the ideas to their team. The team, Bafata, deep dives a little into the problem understanding from the consumer perspective, the strategic perspective, and the technology perspective. And then that team drafts a solution for the problem and puts it in front of developers to gather feedback so that they can help create a delightful solution to solve whatever the issue is. It sounds so obvious, doesn't it? But for many teams, too often, they mess up, resulting in frustration and poor results. None of us, including me, ever do great things, but we can all do small things with great love. And together we can do something wonderful. That was a quote from Mother Teresa, by the way. It's all number two. Let's go to number two. Number two, it's always the developer's fault. If the Scrum team succeeds, the product owners take all the credit for it because without my decision-making capabilities, no, we would have never gotten here. But if the team fails, shame on those developers because the product owners had nothing to do with that. I've seen this bizarre scenario often in organizations, and it drives me wacky. Some product owners see themselves above the teams. They use the team as a means to an end. Developers represent the assembly line workers, while the product owner is the engineer defining how they work and what they produce. Whenever something goes wrong, it's time to blame the poor assembly line workers. For sure, they were inefficient or made something wrong. The product owner is omnipotent and knows all. I am Oz, right? I've observed this awful behavior in distinct scenarios. Maybe when the stakeholders are angry because of quality issues, the product owner points the problem directly to a team member, saying something like, well, if Jonathan was working on a bug fix, I pressured him a lot today, but until now, we still have to wait. We have nothing. Or if a deadline's missed, the product owner can shift the responsibility to the team. For example, if Mary was just taking way too long to finish. I've already pressured her, but, she's slow. Ouch. Or the product owner refers to the developers as they and never uses we. It's always I, the product owner, and they, the team. They, the developers, right? That's a clue right there. Product owners should never fingerprint a member of a Scrum team if a problem happens. It should be a we type thing, and we should focus on how to solve the problem. Great product owners are proud to say we instead of I or they. I'm going to say that one more time because that might be the most prolific line of this entire podcast episode. Great product owners are proud to say we instead of I or they. Number 3, obey your master. It's 9 a.m. and the developers are ready to start their daily Scrum, but the product owner is absent, so they cannot start. They wait for 7 minutes until a product owner finally arrives with coffee in hand, Starbucks. The day starts like this, product owner. Hey, Bjorn, I'd like for you to focus on a new issue I found today. Torvi, could you take over those tasks from Bjorn? I'll talk to you after the daily. Torvi says, I don't think I should because I won't be productive on it since I lack the context of what you need done. Bjorn says, well, I can work on the mentioned issue, but does that make sense? I need only today and maybe tomorrow morning to finish the current task I have to work on. Can't we wait until then? Product owner, I've already promised Egbert this fix. Sorry, we can't wait. We have to fix this today. I will give you the details. Bjorn, next time you should involve us before promising anything. Product owner, sorry, Bjorn. I hope you understand I decide what goes into the sprint and what doesn't. That's my accountability, not yours. Here we go. You may ask, why didn't the Scrum Master interrupt this discussion? In this example, the product owner played both roles. It's a real scenario. I see it every day, right? Many companies don't have an understanding of what a Scrum Master really does, so they don't have a dedicated Scrum Master. However, the absence of the Scrum Master does not justify the product owner behaving as the team's manager. The product owner has no authority over the people building the product. The product owner and Scrum Master are team peers. The misunderstanding comes from the job nature of product owners and Scrum Masters. They work more closely. Product owners should be working more closely with stakeholders than developers, and Scrum Masters should be working more closely with developers than stakeholders. That's why they may think that they can decide alone what to do and what not to do, but that's not the way an Agile team works. It's just not the way it functions. The product owner must respect and trust the developers. They need to trust their ability to reach sprint goals. Developers are self-managing and should be practicing autonomy and don't need anyone to tell them what to do. The lack of trust between product owners and developers will simply destroy Scrum teams' chances of success. So to wrap it up, the product owner is not the boss. The product owner doesn't own anything, save it be maybe the backlog, and product owners are not above the developers. If you want any chance of success as a product owner, you need to learn how to be a better leader, someone who inspires. Lead by context and not by command and control. Encourage people to challenge your decisions and give feedback when you miss the mark. It's vital to understand what servant leadership really means. The product owner is a peer to all of the team members. Even if you have the job title product manager, it's still a servant leadership position and not a managerial role. Until product owners can live as part of the team, the Scrum team will never be able to unlock its true potential and achieve its true goals. That's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.